Hi everyone, we are in the bathroom today because I'm going to be reviewing for you the bad and the bougie La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation. I'm going to be sharing information about the products with you, sharing my experience, applying the products and showing you how it looks. So if you are considering taking the plunge on this bad boy, you can be well informed. So if that's something you'd like to see, then just keep on watching. So I've been hearing about this guy for a long time, reading all about how great it was, how amazing it made your skin look. I was also aware it cost over £100 for 30 millilitres of foundation, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's not the most expensive foundation. La Prairie do one that's 220. The Dior Prestige foundation is £120. This is £105. But I think this is the one that people talk about, people want to know about. So this is the one we are going to get in today. I don't own La Prairie or Dior Prestige foundation. If you do, please let me know all about them in the comments. I am very curious. So a few years ago, curiosity got the best of me. I was having a bougie moment. La Mer were doing a no risk offer where if you bought their foundations on the site, they also gave you a sample. So you could try it. If you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, send it back. Zero risk. I got this one and the cushion foundation as well. These are both £105. You do get a refill with the cushion foundation, but honestly, they dry out so fast. I really liked the finish of the cushion foundation. This one's very well loved. This one, it's really kind of fresh, light. You can't see, this is dried out, this is old. This is in the shade 01 Pink Porcelain. It gives a beautiful sheen. This was beautiful, really nice, fresh for summer, hot days. Absolutely beautiful. Contains SPF 20. But could not justify it at the rate that those cushions dry out. Could hardly justify La Mer, but I loved it. I went through a whole bottle. Spoiler alert, it is the best foundation by far I've ever used. It makes your skin, it takes it to the next level. I'm going to put some on. I'm going to show you. So I saw this on a really good offer and I did repurchase. First colour I had was Shell, but I did try in store, and I think that my winter colour is going to be 120 Ivory. This does come in 28 shades. This is also SPF 20 and it is described as buildable coverage. So today I'm going to see how much coverage I can get out of this. I'm not going to use primer, concealer or powder like I usually would, because I want to show you what this beautiful frosted glass bottle, what this foundation can do for your skin alone. So I'm just going to use this for complexion. I'm going to obviously put some other makeup on. Looking for a foundation with SPF, this longwear foundation has weightless touch, natural buildable coverage for luxurious longwear. That this is the word, it's so luxurious, it's such an indulgence. Blending, renewing hydration with luminous colour. This product refines the look of the skin, smoothing visible imperfections. I do handily have some imperfections, hormonal breakouts around my jawline, so that's fortunate, while enhancing the skin's natural beauty. The key ingredients are, of course, the miracle broth that is contained in the famous moisturiser, colour capsule technology and soft velvet firming. It does have a velvety feel and it's formulated without parabens or sulfates. So I had this, I loved this, but I didn't love it so much more than the Ordinary foundation that used to be £6. The Ordinary foundation now being discontinued. I'm absolutely devastated and heartbroken about this. The Ordinary foundation was good. It wasn't this good, but I could not justify spending over £100 on a foundation when I had a good one for £6. I saw this on a good deal. I say a good deal. I think I ended up getting this for around £75 and I treated myself to this again. So we're going to apply. All I currently have on my skin is the La Mer moisturizing cream, the classic one. Really, really rich, very good for winter or dry skins. They also do a soft version of the moisturizing cream or a gel version. And I have on just the La Mer lip balm. I'll link to the video where I review this in the description. Without further ado, let's get on with this. It has a 4-star review on the UK website from 66 reviews. People say it's amazing, hesitant due to the price, but so glad they did. Best foundation I've ever used. Someone says beautiful product. It's amazing, but it's expensive. So I'm going to put some on now to see if you think it's worth it. Like I say, I only bought it because, oh, we're supposed to shake this. That's my bad. It's come out quite watery there. Don't think I shook it up enough, which we are instructed to do. Okay, it's still quite liquidy. I'm going to we are advised to apply this with fingertips or a brush. I'm going to use fingertips and then use my beauty blender, because the way I like to apply foundation, I like to avoid streak marks that we can sometimes get from a brush. I like the flawless application that comes from a beauty blender. I'm so happy to be using this foundation again. I didn't have it for years until I saw that deal. It was for around £75, which is still an awful lot to spend on foundation, but a lot less than that regular price of £105. So I justified it to myself. A kind of a nice alternative if you wanted to spend less. The Pat McGrath foundation is £61, and I believe you get 35ml in here, so slightly more product, 5ml more than the La Mer, but it's, you know, almost getting down to around half the price, and that's a lovely foundation. Again, it's not as lovely in my view as this one. So now I've kind of popped this all over my face. That's looking like a really good colour match for me, so I'm happy about that. I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and just buff in. This really looks like your skin. I am in harsh bathroom light here, so I'm not probably doing this justice, but in this mirror it's looking beautiful. It looks so natural, and it just makes you look like you have amazing skin. Not doing much for my dark circles. I would usually use my Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius. However, I'm not going to do that today because I just want the effect on the skin to be what the foundation does, not enhancing it with any other products. So there is one layer of the foundation. I can see blemishes peeking through because it is buildable coverage. So that is giving a kind of luminous, natural veil of colour. But what I'm going to do, because it's buildable, I'm going to add another layer. So again, I think now that's a bit more shaken, we can see that it's a little bit thicker than the last one that I pumped out. Again, glides onto the skin like silk, like absolute silky heaven, perfection. It is undeniably beautiful. It's a wonderful product. It wears really well. My skin never has looked better than when I'm wearing this foundation. It's just, is that cost justified for you? For a lot of people, it's not going to be. For some people, it's going to be an everyday essential. Again, I would say that's been built up to more of a medium coverage. You see the glow my skin has. again, you can still see imperfections. See, I've got this to about a medium. I wouldn't usually do a third layer because honestly, it's too expensive. However, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to see how far we can take this. Oh, shake, 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 with the coverage and do a third layer of foundation. I will probably never do this again. I'm applying that directly to the blemishes as well. See if we can get some more coverage for those. Okay, I'm going to rub in first so that none of this delicious and expensive foundation gets sucked up by the beauty sponge. It does have a chemically smell, I will say. There's a chemical sunscreen in here as well as titanium dioxide. It doesn't smell bougie, I'll say that. If you wanted me to talk you out of it, it smells very chemically. And we'll press in with the sponge. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's not looking nice in this bathroom light as much as it is looking in real life. Okay, so it's getting up to quite a decent level of coverage. It's really kind of quite well concealed the blemishes on my jawline. I wouldn't want to put another layer on. I think it would get cakey. It really does have a beautiful velvety finish. Hopefully that's well blended. I do have a bit of dry skin actually around my nose. It's winter. I need to exfoliate. That's not the foundation's fault. Okay, here we are. This is how my skin is looking. It's perfected. It's glowy. It's luminous. It's still the best foundation that I've ever used. I can't say that I feel that it is worth £105. That price is just insane to me. I'm going to finish up with some makeup now. So I'm going to go grab my bougiest makeup and I'll be right back. I don't have any other La Mer makeup. The only other La Mer I've tried other than this beautiful foundation is the Cushion foundation. So I'm just going to use the bougiest out of my collection. Have you tried any of the other La Mer makeup? If so, please let me know your experience in the comments. Is there anything else amazing? So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette to bronze and glow. I have this in the shade light medium, so I'll just kind of do a bit of contour just at the temples, chisel my cheekbones, snatch my jawline. Makeup does, tap off my brush there. Makeup does blend really nicely over the foundation in my experience. Honestly, I just kind of wanged that contour on, but it's blended in really nicely and seamlessly. The quality of the foundation is undeniable. It's just, like I said, whether you are prepared to pay the price point. I'm going to pop the Cheek to Chic blush in shade Sex on Fire on, and I haven't brought a blusher brush into the bathroom, so I'm just going to improvise. Maybe don't apply blush with a fan brush. It's not looking the best, but we'll work with it. And then I'm going to dip back into that bronze and glow with the highlight shade, which is absolutely beautiful. Today is a bougie day. Wow. think that brush was too dense for the highlighter. I usually get a more diffused effect, but that's when I use a looser brush. I'm very confident in saying that the problem is not with the foundation. So for my bougie eyes, I'm going to use my very well-loved By Terry shadows. Oops. This is the Ombre Black Star in the shade Bronze Moon. I absolutely love these eyeshadow sticks for a quick one and done. They are exceptional. Beauty Pie actually do a more affordable version of these. These are around £30. If you remember Beauty Pie, I love Beauty Pie, but I don't feel the performance of their eyeshadow sticks is the same as these, and these are great because you can use them as a liner also. Really nice amount of shimmer to the lid. So quick, but they look really sophisticated. Kind of hard to mess up. Really forgiving. I just love blending these out with my fingers, but for more precision, you could use a brush. I'm going to use the Victoria Beckham Future Lash Mascara. I will link to my review of this below. So VB mascara, nice and lengthening, doesn't give major volume. So that's eyes. I'm just going to do a bit of definition on the brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I have the shade medium brown. Smudge that mascara. Kind of have tadpole eyebrows. Okay, and just some gloss to finish. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Lust Gloss in the shade Flesh Fantasy. Okay, so here is the completed look. Again, I would always usually use a primer, concealer, powder, but if you're spending £105 on a foundation, that might be all your makeup budget for concealer, foundation and primer. So I really want to show how this foundation wears on its own. That's how I'm looking for now. What are your thoughts at this stage? Do you like the look? Do you think it's worth that kind of money? Do you think I'm ridiculous? Don't be shy, it's a ridiculous amount to spend on a foundation, I'm fully aware. So while we're bouging it up, I'm going to spritz on some of my Bougie's perfume. This is the Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. Makes you smell like delicious, edible marshmallows. Allegedly what Rihanna wears, and I believe it. Absolutely stunning. Again, this runs for over £200 a bottle, so it's an indulgence. But that has been the theme of today's video, indulgence. So I'm going to go about my day and do some check-ins to let you know how this foundation is holding up. See you in a little while. I am back for a 2-hour check-in. I have just refreshed my gloss. Everything else is untouched. And I think I'm looking pretty much the same. Still radiant, still glowy. Foundation's not settling into my lines and not looking bad on my dry winter skin. I do see a little bit of it visible in my pores and around my nose. I think a primer would have helped with that. Again, we wanted to see the foundation's power alone. La Mer do a primer for £80 if you're interested. So again, even without powder or primer, 2 hours in, I'm still looking pretty good. I'll go about my day and check in with you later. We are now around the 6-hour mark and I am here to update you. Here's how I am looking. Now, I actually don't see much obvious signs of fading despite not wearing a primer, powder or setting spray today. I think it's worn off around the nose. I'm seeing some redness and it has slightly settled into my smile line on this side and a little bit in my number one on this side. However, I did use 3 layers and I can kind of just tap that back in. So my makeup's still looking, again, I just refreshed my lip gloss off camera, but other than that, everything's still looking fresh. The blusher, the highlight is still in place. So without those other kind of complexion products to support long wear, I'd say this foundation is doing pretty well. I will be back for a final check-in of the day in a few hours. I'm back for the final check-in. It has been well over 9 hours since I applied this oh so expensive La Mer. Did I say how much I love this chic frosted glass bottle? I love it. Now, of course, the makeup has faded slightly since I put it on 9 hours ago. It's worn away around the nose, but worn away a bit on the chin. But the foundation on the rest of the face is still very much on and looking fairly even. I did actually have a little snooze on the sofa. Makeup hasn't been disrupted there. Really, really impressed by the performance of this with no primer, no powder, no setting spray for 9 hours wear. What I'm going to do next is pop back on after using primer, powder and setting spray to show you how good this foundation can look using those steps and how it performs with those steps. See you in the future. I am back with that different usage of this foundation. So everything on my face is the same as last time, with the exception of I used a little bit more skincare. I used the Beauty Pie Youth Bomb Serum underneath that La Mer cream. I will link to my reviews of this in the description if you're interested. I used my lovely Origins Ginseng Eye Cream. Love this one. Really reflective and brightening. Again, I will link to my review of this. Then I used a bougie primer to go with my bougie foundation. I used the Tatcha Silk Canvas as a primer, unlike last time. Again, I'll link to my review of this below. And then I just did 2 layers of this foundation over the primer and my Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Corrector. Again, I will link to my review of this product in the description if you're interested. And then I did 2 layers of foundation rather than the 3 I did last time. So that's 4 pumps. I do kind of 2 pumps per layer. This time I used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away concealer to cover my spots rather than the foundation. And I used the Hourglass Ambient Light Infinity powder. Again, I will link to this. And finally, I used the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist to set. Everything else was the same. So this is kind of how the foundation is looking with all the bells and whistles, all the other complexion makeup products. So I'm pretty dewy because of that lovely Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. I will review this on the channel, so subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see that. But here's how I'm looking. Pretty glam. I think I will check in with you throughout the day to show how this foundation is holding up with those other products used and compare to my experience last time. I'm back and here's how the makeup is looking after around 6 hours wear. I've been out shopping with my mum. We had lunch. It's been really cold. We've been in the elements. I can see the makeup collecting into some of my lines. Although overall it smudged a bit round my nose. Again, I've only touched up my lip gloss. The rest of the face is in pretty good tact. And again, I can kind of just tap into my lines. It's looking a bit rough around the eyes. Sometimes I think the more layers of makeup you add, because I had primer and powder and setting spray, the more creased you can get. So I almost prefer the look where I just had the foundation on, because this has definitely been settling into lines. I do think I have retained some of that gorgeous glow though. I'll be back in a few hours for my final check-in. We are now around the 9-hour mark of wearing this makeup, and it's definitely time for me to have a nice hot bath and take it all off. So here's how I'm looking at 9 hours. Not looking too bad. It's kind of patched off a little bit around my nose. I'm going to see, just out of interest, if we can do a bit of a refresh with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist and my beauty blender. Definitely getting cakey around my eyes where I used that under eye corrector. I would advise not using this foundation with too many layers of makeup. So I'm ready to give my final thoughts on this La Mer Soft Fluid Longwear foundation. I do think it makes my skin look better than any other foundation I've ever tried, and I have tried a lot. If money was no object, this would probably be my day-to-day foundation, but money is an object, and this is nearly half the price of the next most expensive foundation in my collection, which is the Pat McGrath Sublime Skin Fetish foundation. This is £61 and you get more product. For the extra pizzazz this gives my skin, I can't personally justify spending over £100 on a tiny little bottle of foundation. So for me, this is going to be something maybe for special occasions, but beware, if you buy something really nice for special occasions and those special occasions never come, then you've wasted your money. So again, I got this on offer. I'll probably wear it to nice events. I don't know if I'd purchase it again unless there was another really good offer, but it's a beautiful, beautiful foundation which makes skin glow, look so natural. Again, best foundation I've ever tried. Most expensive foundation I've ever tried. Sometimes you do get what you pay for, but the price for this for me might be a bit too steep. It just doesn't feel that comfortable for me to be spending that much. I'd rather kind of invest my beauty budget on something like an Augustinus Bader cream. So this cream is over £200, but the results that it gives my skin and long-term use, I've just started this up again recently, are phenomenal. So I think this for me is more of a worthwhile splurge than this. Nevertheless, the finish on the skin is absolutely beautiful, and I guess this does contain that miracle broth in La Mer, so I guess you could argue it's skincare. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Have you tried the La Mer Fluid Foundation? If so, what are your thoughts? If not, do you plan on doing so after this video? What are your thoughts? Do you think this is worth the money to feel beautiful on a daily basis, or do you think it's excessive? I lean towards excessive, but I'll enjoy it while I have it. Not sure that I will repurchase. Any other foundations that you love at a more affordable price point, please pop them down in the comments for me, and I will catch you in the next video.